got a really awesome quick link building tip for you guys today that I've been using to help get some of my new companies off the ground very quickly. Now, traditionally, this is called unlinked mentions, and that's where, if you're doing a lot of press and PR and, the Boston Globe mentions your company, but they don't link back to you, there's tools. You can use Ahrefs, you can use mention.com that will tell you that, hey, your brand or your name has been mentioned, but they didn't link to you. So, hey, why don't you send them an email and ask for a link for attribution? Now, I'm not going to talk about this here, but a very kind of simple pivot off that, which is using your social profiles to see how many links they've picked up, and then contacting those websites to see if they'd be happy to link to your website and your social profile as well. So this came about because we have this really awesome Facebook group, Digital Marketing Questions. We've had it for about 5 years. It's grown. We're putting a lot more emphasis back on the group to get more engagement. We're doing live events, all that type of stuff. And I was like, man, this group has gotten very popular. Let me check to see if it's gotten any links. And sure enough, it's gotten over 150 websites that have linked to it. So I'm going through the process now of reaching out to those websites to ask if they'll also link to my website. And I want to show you guys how you can take this and apply it to your website. So of course, I put together a quick little process diagram here to just walk you through this process to show you how you can get some, let me get my big old head out the way, to get some really quick links. So the first step here, and this is done locally by you or your local strategist, whatever that may be, is identify the social profile. So Twitter, Facebook, if you've got any YouTube channels, things like that, anything that somebody might have mentioned. And this doesn't apply to everyone, right, guys? You got to be doing content marketing. You got to be active on social media. You got to have an Instagram profile, whatever that may be, LinkedIn, whatever those are. If you've been guest posting a lot of times, again, these websites will link to your social profiles as opposed to your normal website. So the next thing you want to do is you want to take that profile, that link, that URL, and dump it into Ahrefs, right? So I took my Facebook group here, and what I'll do is I'll literally just dump it in here, come over to the Backlinks Report, just go to one link per domain. And then what you've got here is a list. You can see 125, like I said, unique domains that have linked to this Facebook group. So then what we want to do is we want to export this, right? I like to get them out of here. So I've got it over here now in a just Google Sheets file. It's got all the referring page URLs. It's got the page title, which we need. It's got the link destination URL. So of course, these are all going to our Facebook group here. The link anchor, which is important. And then what I've got over here then also is the type. Is it a followed link? Is it a no follow link? Is it an image link, etc.? And no follow links generally you don't want to waste your time with, but in this case, I still want to pitch them because pitching doesn't take any extra effort. We just want to make sure we're segmenting the pitch to make sure that we're asking for a follow link as opposed to a no follow link. So, but I want to filter these just to make sure that we can kind of segment these and we can prioritize that accordingly. So all that you're going to do is, and again, this is actually, I should go back here real quick to show you. So underneath here, I've got who's responsible for it. You guys have seen my stuff before. You know I'm very big on roles responsibility and not doing the work myself and using my team or a small offshore team to get this stuff done. So the stuff that I do is under here as local. So all I'm doing is basically passing this video to one of my VAs, and then they're taking that URL, they're dumping it into Ahrefs or exporting that into Sheets, and then they're going through each link. Again, this is my VA to see if that profile has been mentioned. So literally all they're going to do is I put together a list here of the sites. They're going to go through, it's either going to be on Ryan was here, Webist.org, or the blueprint.training. They're going to go through each of these sites here. Start here with Ahrefs. They are going to find that link here. So all I'm going to instruct them to do is go to View Page Source. Get my head out the way again. And I'm going to Command F just to search this page. And I'm going to have them search for the sites. So RyanWasHere.com was not mentioned. Webist.org was not mentioned. Let's see if the blueprint was also not mentioned, right? So what we want to do here then is we want to find the person's contact info who wrote this, right? I'm just going to highlight this here in yellow so you can see it. And we want to send them an email, and we want to ask them if they can include us in that article, right? Ask for attribution. I'll show you that pitch that I sent in a second. So it's always a little bit challenging here depending on the group, depending on the website, right? This is a big website. This is Ahrefs. Obviously, I'm using their tool. Maybe they'll just give me a shout out just because I mentioned them here. But what we want to do is we want to find the person who is responsible for writing this article. And then what I like to do is use this plugin here called hunter.io. And again, let me just come back to the flow. I know I'm all over the place today. I got a busy schedule. I just want to hammer this out for y'all though. But what we want to do is after we identify that they have not mentioned us, right? So I should have mentioned that before, is that if they did mention our website, so obviously this article on Ahrefs mentioned my Facebook group or mentioned my Twitter profile or mentioned your Instagram profile, right? But then we want to look through the code to see if they also link to your website. So if they did link to our website, then we would just delete it from this list because we already got the link. We're good. Again, we want to find articles that are talking about us, talking about our social profiles, and linking to them, but are not linking to our websites as well. So this is a good opportunity because they mentioned the Facebook group. They're talking about the Facebook group, but we want to hit them up to see if they can link to my website as attribution for that as well. In order to find that out, we have to make sure that they didn't already link to that website as well. So the VA just goes through the code, excuse me, and if they did not link to it, then we've got a good opportunity here. So again, so what we want to do then is we want to instruct our VA. I love this plugin. It's called hunter.io. I'll link to it underneath this video. But what we want to do is we want to try and find Tim Ferriss. That's funny. We want to try and find the person responsible. So here she is, Helen Stark. She wrote this article. I'm just going to copy her. Her name is Helen. I always use just first names because I'll show you why. And then email goes over here. Right. So what this our VA is going to do is they're just going to go through this whole list. They're just going to do just that. They're going to follow that exact same process over and over again through all these opportunities. And what we'll be left with is a sheet that we can then email all the people for. So I use a platform called Pitchbox. All you literally do is you're going to export this into a CSV and upload it directly to Pitchbox with your pitch. And then Pitchbox, what it will do is will automatically send those emails, however many you want per day, and it will also automatically send follow-up emails. So after the VA goes through this part, they find their contact info. We're going to write the pitch. And again, you can see here this is locally, right? So the VA finds contact info. After all this is done, what I've already done for you guys is I put together the pitch. And I just want to read you this pitch real quick so you guys understand and kind of close the full circle on this. So it says, hey, my name is Ryan. Hey, again, just first name here. And again, I leave these brackets here because what Pitchbox or any outreach tool will really allow you to do is to spin that person's name through there. So this one will say, hey, Helen. Hey, Tim. Hey, Ryan. My name is Ryan Stewart. I'm reaching out because you wrote an article. And again, this pulls from the title here. That's why I've got the article title here. It will actually pull from this page title here. And it will say, hey, you wrote this article and mentioned my Facebook group. First of all, thank you. First of all, thank you for mentioning my name, my Twitter profile, etc. You link to the group. Again, thank you, but not my personal website. I've worked so hard to build that group, my career as a consultant, and a mention and link from your article would go a long way to help me endorse my growing practice, right? So we're basically saying, hey, thank you, I appreciate it, but would you mind taking it one extra step a little bit further because it would really help me out, man. You'd be doing me a huge favor. But then we're also saying, hey, I know that requires extra work. You got to log into the website. You got to change some text. You got to add the link. So I'm willing to help in any way that I can. How about this? How about if you add a link to my website? Here's the link right here. As attribution for talking about my group or talking about my social profile, I'm happy to promote that article or anyone you want in that Facebook group, on my Twitter profile, on my Instagram. I'll tag you in a story. I'm standing by. Right? So what that pitch does is it says, hey, number one, plays on some heartstrings. Hey, you'd really be helping me out. I'm working really hard here, guys. I'm trying to grow my career. Also, too, I'm happy to show love back and share that post with you. Share the post in my group. Share it on my Twitter profile, whatever that may be. However, you can also benefit them to help drive them to action. So again, just to go through this whole process now for you guys the full time. So again, I just identify the social profile. That would be you. That would be, whatever local person you have there. After that, let me get my face nice and big again. After that, you're going to dump that opportunity to Ahrefs. You're going to pull back all the links. Then you're going to dump that into Google Sheets or CSV, whatever you're comfortable with. And you're going to have somebody go through each one of those links, either you or, again, your VA. I always suggest the VA. Go through each one of those links to find unlinked mentions, right? So, again, going through the code to say, hey, they mentioned your Twitter profile, but they didn't mention your website. That's a good opportunity. Bing. If that happens, then what we want to do is we want to find their contact info. Again, I like hunter.io. Very simple Chrome plugin that literally will scrape the numbers, everything that you need, pull that through. After that, you're going to write the pitch. So I've done that for you guys. I've given you the pitch. Don't steal it verbatim because I have these pitches going out now. You're going to make me look like an asshole. But, something like that. Again, using the framework that I just gave you. And then you can either send these emails one by one. You can use Gmail canned responses. That's the simplest free way to do it. I always recommend Pitchbox because it's the shit. It's an amazing tool. You literally just going to upload all those opportunities to Pitchbox and send them out. And then also send a nice follow-up email that says, hey, just want to nudge this to your top of your inbox. And then you're done. So all in all, this took me about, if I didn't stop to film this video, it would have taken me about 10 minutes. It takes my VA about a day or two to get those opportunities together. They upload the pitch, and that's it. Even if we get 2 to 5 links from that, these are on really good websites, and it's just a very simple and very free link building tactic that you guys can use. So as always, if you guys like that, and if you guys like my teaching of styling too, I never really plug my own stuff, but you got to check out the Blueprint training because I have hundreds of lessons just like this where I go through step by step and teach you very detailed and tactical SEO and marketing things that are going to help you grow your business, your practice, or your agency, or whatever that may be. So as always, guys, if you guys like this, please like, subscribe, listen to the podcast, leave me some feedback, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.